Terrarian in the Dungeon, Chapter 4b, Fan Fiction by Azazyel. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel for listening and patreon.com/Azazyel to read all of his stories. Happy that it was so simple, I just emptied my sack of tiny goblin and kobold monster stones into the divider between us, and then the receptionist's face twitched before she smiled and gave me a look. Hey, it's alright with kobold and goblins being worth the same, but when you get deeper into the dungeon, you need to sort out the monster stones or the guild charges a fee to use the magical sorter. Otherwise, it will take hours for us little civilians to sort all your monster stones. She said fiercely, and I nodded in understanding, making sure to keep other sacks for just that. Alright, I will keep that in mind, I said, raising a hand in surrender, as honestly, I should have probably already done that, but I simply didn't think of that. Anyway, thanks for the help, and have a nice day, I said wryly as I took the 2,000 valis I got for like 4 hours of farming, which was far less than the prescribed 25,000 a group of 5 new adventurers could get in a day, but I had to spend like 40% of my time actually just getting the monster stones out of the monsters, as it took me a whole like 40 seconds at best to extract each monster stone compared to Lily's precise like 5 seconds to wrench it out of the corpse of a monster. While I was walking home, I was deeply pondering on how the hell I could get past this whole little supporter issue, as I honestly couldn't be bothered to get these damned monster stones out of the corpses of the monsters until it hit me like a ton of bricks. My summons. I needed to summon an actual summon and not a sentry like Sir Fluffykins the First that could actually move around at will, and what better than a flying little drone with tools on it that could shoot weak lasers to extract the monster stones for me. Once I arrived back home to Seshet's store, I went straight in and saw that very goddess lazily lounging on her couch she had set up in her shop so she could watch over it in comfort. You are back so soon. I thought you would have camped out in the dungeon with how gung-ho you were about it, HAA. Seshet sassed me with a rather stereotypical cat greeting while she yawned at the end. How does your shop even stay open? I haven't seen anyone buy anything, I asked dryly as I looked around at all the little knickknacks she had out on the display. Seshet scoffed and threw a hand in front of her as though to point at all the objects in the room. Bah, all this? Yeah, I literally have sold like half a dozen things in here altogether in the weeks I've been in Genkai. I just get commissioned to decorate and build my fellow deities' homes if they even have the money to afford it. Remembering how Seshet had only been here in Tenkai for like a couple of months at most, I had to shrug. So how many such projects have you gotten? I asked curiously as I threw the valis I collected into my inventory, seeing as I was now in a safe place. Then with another thought I took off my Squire Squirrel's staff and resummoned Sir Fluffykins the First onto my lap as I sat across from Seshet. I got a wine-tasting room project from Loki for 3 million valis that took me like a whole week to do, and then I had some weird project from Dienchet where he wanted me to make a kind of bathing house, and that got me a whole 10 million valis. So, I am set for money for like the next human lifetime unless I decide to buy a bottle of Soma. Then I guess I will have to go to work again. Seshet said, as though she having to actually find work would be the most terrible thing in the world. So, what's with the furball? Seshet finally asked as she watched me holding Sir Fluffykins the First in my lap. I made a friend. Can we keep him? I asked childishly, holding out Sir Fluffykins the First in my hands as though to show Seshet how cute my summon was. Silently Seshet and Sir Fluffykins the First stared at one another until with a loud series of thunking noises rang out as Sir Fluffykins the First looked up to me and rapped his knucks on a seemingly empty acorn he summoned, and then kept pointing at Seshet, whose caramel dark eyes tightened in their slit shapes as she hissed. Are you calling me empty-headed, you damned overgrown rat? She demanded, and at Sir Fluffykins the First shameless nod, my goddess leapt from her perch like the cat she was. I am going to skin and make a damned Cossack hat out of you, she yelled as I ran away from her before Sir Fluffykins the First could brain my poor goddess in the head with one of his acorns and possibly kill her, which would be just my bad luck.